Welcome back, everybody. We are starting this video for Project 13 with the new intro, and let's hop right into it. I gotta figure out how to fix that stutter. This video is gonna be about the font. So I go back and forth on this a lot of how much of this should be me and how much of this should I let people in on. And it's also a logistics thing too, right? Like, how much can I let people in on? Because as much as I would love to have a team, it's not always that simple. And one of the things that prevents me from finding a team is I really need to better my management and my project management and my leadership skills first before I can feel confident in bringing people in and, providing a shared vision for everybody. And, with what I hear a lot, and this is at least true in my circumstance, I don't have the budget to bring on a crew. And, maybe, and this is probably really selfish of me, but honestly, I do stuff like this on my own because I want to learn. I love the idea of creating something from scratch, and sure, I'm not going to be the best at it, and I'm sure that there's a bunch of graphic designers and typographers who are going to watch this and have a heart attack, but, I really take pride in the fact that I can, at the end of the day, say that I tried. Not that I did it well, but that I tried. And making a font, in this case, is a prime example of that. You may be asking how much experience I have had designing fonts. And I think people who are paying attention will know that I have no experience. This is the very first time I have ever even attempted at making a font. And I'm sure that you can hear it in the way that I talk about it. I would imagine that industry experts don't even call them fonts. They probably call them, glyphs or text or the proper terminology. I don't have the right jargon here, which is going to be really, really great for a lot of people. Which, by the way, leave it in the comments how I can improve. I understand that if I'm putting this out there in the world, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, in some way, shape, or form. But at the very least, I can do my part to invite people to create a community where we can learn from each other. So, maybe there's somebody in the comments section that wants to build their worlds and their stories, and, if at the very least, if there's only one view on my video, I want that view to be somebody who sees my stuff and says, well, he did it. Maybe I can do it too. And then in the comments, we can kind of encourage each other and say, well, he's going with this direction. This is probably how I would design my R's. And then we start sharing ideas back and forth with each other and invite that sense of community. Because, the comment sections are always going to be nasty, but at the very least, we can do our part to make it insightful and informed and helpful. So, anyways, that's my TED Talk, and I feel like I have to talk about that every time I make a video, but I'm sure it'll get out of my system eventually. So, with this, I'm only doing uppercase for a lot of reasons. The biggest one is expertise, right? I don't have a lot of expertise, and because of all the other projects and world building and things that I want to do, it didn't feel like the right use of my energy and my time to fully commit to a font in every way, shape, or form. Especially if I'm planning on doing this with other worlds, I can't really, create every aspect of it. So that's the big thing. And then really, this is to kind of try my hand at a display font. And for those who don't know, a display font is a font that is designed with one purpose in mind. So if you were to look at Times New Roman, I'm not saying that Times New Roman is a display font, I would actually argue it's the exact opposite, where you can use it for multiple things, right? You can use Times New Roman in a document, you can use it in text, you can use it in an email, you can use it in graffiti. There's a lot of uses for Times New Roman. But a really good example of a display font is Disney's font. You can't use the Disney font in any other format except for the Walt Disney Company's promotions and material, right? Because as soon as you see that D, which if you're like me, you thought it was just a really, really weird G growing up. If you see that D or if you see that E, you know it's Disney. So this is kind of my attempt at doing the same thing. So if you were to look at a thumbnail or if you were to look at, credits in the show, you know what you're watching, right? And I figured with kind of the blocky and the choppiness and the super, slanted angular form of it, I hope it also gives you a sense of the tone for this world. So this world is a superhero world, right? But it's... How easy would it be for me to say it's a superhero show, but it's not like all the other superhero shows that are on right now. This is my attempt at making a world full of superhero narratives that means something to me. And the way I would pitch that, if I had to, is this world is like if the MCU and Game of Thrones had a baby, and that baby was raised by Todd McFarlane and Quentin Tarantino, who found God. So, a lot of stuff going on, and I know that it'll be better explained as the world is better explained. But I wanted something to kind of emphasize the strong and powerful dynamics that go on in this world. And for me, it's, the super, super blocky and the really sharp lettering of this font. But at the same time, it's not, something that you would see in a horror font, a horror display font, for example, where it's sharp in the sense of dangerous. I wanted the font to be sharp in the sense of powerful. Like it was like every letter had some kind of force behind it. That was really the motivation for this. And it's funny, while I was making this, I kept thinking about, well, if you're going to make a superhero world, you should make a superhero font. And the first superhero font that is typically brought up when you do research is Comic Sans, which a lot of typographers will know did not age well. It's kind of the butt of the joke in designing fonts and glyphs and characters like that. So I didn't want to go in that route. I wanted something a little bit more dramatic and a little bit louder. So this is the final font form, or at least final for now. I am more than happy to take your guys' suggestions and redesign them and reformat them according to what, the feedback I get, as long as it's constructive. Because you may notice I designed the font, but I didn't do a very good job at spacing. And so there's a lot of opportunity for growth there. I think the I is too fat. It's just something nitpicky that you think about. But at the end of the day, for a first attempt, I am a lot happier than I thought it was going to be. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Leave a comment for, good insights that you may have. And this is the display font for Project 13. God, I gotta work on those eyes.